Imagine a year where a director makes both an American movie and a Canadian movie.
Oh my god, South Canada got involved? What year is that, Sandro?
The year is 1983.
Whoa! Oh my god. How is the portal getting worse every time? That is awful. I hate that. I needed a nap. Oh! Well, luckily no one seems to be around now, so I could just go for a little nap on this pavement here. This nice black tarred pavement seems like a totally great place for me to go to sleep on.
I'm driving my car.
Whoa!
Driving my car about. Driving my car about. I'm a Canadian.
Wait, this is a road. I'm too tired to realize. No, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Ah! Oh my god, those teleports don't get anywhere. Wait, hang on a second. That wasn't a teleport. I got hit by a car, I think.
Oh, I'm driving a boat. I'm driving a boat.
Oh, no, not again. I'm stuck in a loop.
Driving a boat. Oh my god, it's a man. I'm gonna hit him.
Wait, no. He's trying to hit me. Sandro, is that you? Stop trying to hit me with a car.
I'm gonna run you over.
Ow! Whoa, those teleports, they feel like they're getting worse. Oh my god. Feels like I've been hit by a car. Wait a minute. This is starting to sound familiar again. Sandro's going to try and hit me with a car. I'm just going to get off the road, actually.
Oh, I'm driving a boat. Oh, there's no man in this road, so I'm okay to keep going. Vroom, vroom.
Fuck you, Sandro.
Oh, I've run out of gas. What happened there?
Probably we didn't have enough budget for more gas for the skit. Even in a coma, we still run out of gas money. That's how bad the gas prices are at the moment.
Did I hear you talking about comas?
I was talking about them. I don't know what a boot them. What are you talking about? I'm very confused.
sorry. I'm Canadian, so I say a boot.
Of course. Yes. You're Canadian.
Everything about me is American, aside from the fact that I say a boot with an accent.
I mean, that does make you more endearing than most Americans, so...
And I do apologize about 200% more than Americans, who don't apologize ever.
Honestly, sounds like only improvement so far. I have not noticed a downside.
Canada is better than America, yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
Kind of like New Zealand to Australia.
Yeah?
I guess.
Which one's better?
I would say New Zealand is probably better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll agree to that. Yeah, sure. I think the job market's bigger in Australia, but aside from that, I think New Zealand is a better place to live.
But New Zealand actually has a flourishing media well, actually, no, The Hobbit wrecked everything. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the problem. The problem was, it was till The Hobbit came along and fucked everything up.
Anyway, Zach, did I hear you talking about comas? Wait, Zach, it was me the entire time. Zach, did I...
Yeah, no, I figured that out like 2 loops ago.
You're talking about comas?
Yeah, I was talking about comas. They're a real thing that people should believe in because I'm in one. Well, here you could actually have a good excuse and be like, it's in a movie, so it must be fake, right?
No.
Was that too low-hanging fruit?
Everything in movies are real.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's okay. These are 2 wild claims going out. Okay, so on one hand, comas don't exist. But on the other hand, everything depicted in film is real. Including Narnia and the Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story's not real. Fuck that French shit.
But you just said everything in film is real.
I was merely being silly. Because, Zach, if you were really in a coma, you wouldn't be able to talk to me right now. You would merely grow a new haircut and get superpowers.
Oh, that's true. I am waiting on my superpowers to kick in. I was really hoping for some of those. Maybe I could try, like, predicting your future here?
Yeah, you can try that.
All right, I'm going to grab your hand and see if I can predict your future.
Ah, my hand!
I predict we're going to do a bonus battle.
Oh my goodness. Well, you have no. I think that comas don't exist, but I'm starting to doubt that fact because that was 100% correct right there.
Yeah, well, maybe I didn't have a coma. I just have latent psychic powers that I never knew. Like,
well, that is closer to the plot of the book than the plot of the movie.
oh, really? Oh, well, there we go. Let's probably jump into it and end this bit before it goes on for another 10 minutes.
That's right. It's oldie but a goodie, and we're doing a bonus battle. It's a battle between Canada and America. It's a battle between body horror and psychological horror.
And the idea of you.
What?
I'm just mentioning The Idea of You, that terrible movie that you watched the other day that you were telling me before we started recording.
That was a terrible movie. Don't watch The Idea of You. It's got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes for no reason. I don't know why it's got that.
From all those horny mums.
Exactly. Just watch the new Nicolas Cage movie Arcadia. Watch that. I haven't seen it.
Now that sounds like a good idea.
Zach, we're doing a bonus battle of 2 David Cronenberg movies.
Whoa! David Cronenberg. I love that guy.
That's right. Our younger listeners may only know him as an actor in Star Trek Discovery, seasons 3 to 5.
Yeah, iconically.
For some reason. Don't know why he's in the show, but he's still in it. But yeah, he's the director of Scanners. He's the director of The Fly, the remake, obviously.
Yeah.
History of Violence. Heaps and heaps of bloody, scary, spooky movies. But we are doing a bonus battle between the 2 movies he put out in 1983. Now, here's the thing. These movies aren't that similar at all.
No, but I think that makes it for an interesting bonus battle. Because
yes,
in past bonus battles, we've had... Like, the idea is we get 2 similar movies, and we battle them out to try and see which is sort of the better one in a scientific research type thing. That's 100% fact with zero opinions. Zero opinions.
Now, I don't believe in science. I think that coma's a fake and science is a scam.
Christ.
But in terms of bonus battles, science... It's pretty spot on.
Yeah, okay. For the blatant opinion-based things that we throw out, that's the one where you believe in the science.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that checks out. But for these, we've got 2 very different films. So I feel like it's going to be interesting to compare the films against each other on their own merits rather than, like, which is better at this specific thing.
Exactly. Yeah, like we could have done, if I were to do a bonus battle of movies that were similar, I would do The Dead Zone versus Christine, because they're both Stephen King movies.
Yep.
But then also, like, I don't know, a movie about a haunted car doesn't have a whole lot to do with The Dead Zone. So
yeah, that's true.
It's not a great bonus battle. But anyway, yes, we will be doing a bonus battle like that, which should be good. But we'll do what we usually do, which is non-spoiler opinions on the movies, and then we rate them, and then we get into a spoiler-filled bonus battle. Zach, which one would you like to start with for the opinions?
I would like to start with the opinions with the actor Romano Antonio Gerardo Estevez in.
Who's that?
Also known as Martin Sheen.
Oh, I forgot that his name isn't actually Martin Sheen.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of Martin Sheen. I think he's great, and whenever I see him in the movie, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, he was pretty good in this, and you're talking about The Dead Zone. It's based off a book by Stephen King that came out like 4 years before the movie. They kind of rushed it. It's the 80s, so at this point, every Stephen King movie got a...
4 years. 4 years, I feel like, is reasonable.
It's reasonable. It's not, they opt to adaptation before the book's even out.
Yeah. It's like, if you said 2 years, I would have been like, whoa.
Yeah.
But like 4 years, I could see that. He was quite popular at the time, right?
This is peak Stephen King.
Yeah.
This is the first kind of peak Stephen King. We got it again when the It movies came out, like a decade ago, but yeah. I've read this book. It's fine. I don't really think it's that great. The Dead Zone, it's kind of boring. It's got some interesting stuff here and there, and it's a Stephen King book, so like
I definitely liked this as a movie. I'm not sure if I'd like this as a book.
Well, that's the thing is like as an adaptation, it does everything, but I feel like, particularly with Stephen King movies, the books themselves are so character-based that even if the story's not interesting, you're in the mind of the characters, so you're like, this is, not too bad. For the movie, I was like, oh, they're just kind of taking what happens and making that the movie. I didn't really feel like it was that much more... I don't know, like, the book at least was like, you're in the mind of the main character, whereas in this one, I was like, I don't know, I'm just kind of watching him walk around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Did you watch the film before reading the book, or did you read the book before watching the film?
I read the book first, so that's probably the problem
That's
there.
always a mistake. You can't do that, Sandro, because the book's always going to be better, It gets more in-depth. You can go at your own pace, I feel like this strongly that you should always watch the movie and then read the book, and then you pick up things like, whoa, Tom Bombadil, what's
going on? What is this?
Kind of crack was he smoking? I quite like this film.
Okay, all right.
But I liked it more of like a simplistic sort of concept. It was just like, this is the concept, this is what happens, the end,
Pretty much, yeah.
There was nothing crazy, there was no chest-bursting flesh, there was nothing crazy. So I liked this for its simplicity. There's another movie that we'll talk about that I liked it for its just going batshit,
Exactly.
And it's two ends of the spectrum, right? There wasn't any big surprises. There wasn't any like crazy twist. It was just like a good, solid movie with a concept that executes the concept to the ends. It like explores the idea, gets to an end, boom, done.
That's true, and I feel like that's what the Dead Zone does do really well, is it's like, we've got a concept and we'll just kind of keep going until we kind of reach a natural conclusion, which I think is good.
Yeah, you know what? There wasn't any weird twist. Like, at points during the movie, I was like, oh, are they going to complicate it up? Are they going to add all these twists and other things? It's like, no, it's just going to keep going, keep chugging along and see where it ends, And
that premise is, a guy... he goes into a coma and then awakes like 5 years later, and he has psychic powers. That's what the plot of the movie is.
That is the entirety of the plot. He's just spoiled the entire movie. You can never watch it anymore.
That is indeed the premise. I will say though, like, there's a bunch, like, all of the plot details of the Dead Zone. It's very episodic.
Yeah?
It's like Act 1 is this, Act 2 is he does this, and then Act 3 is Martin Sheen. And it's like, in the book, there's a lot more lead up to that. Like, it's all kind of peppered through the story, which is very weird as to why they cut all that out of the movie. I don't know why they did that. But,
I feel it's like for runtime. How long was this movie?
It was pretty long. It was about 100 minutes.
Yeah, so like not reading the book, I felt it was pretty like decently paced. As you said, possibly because it's in acts like that. It feels deliberate, the pacing, and it's never too slow that you're not interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was just for pacing sort of sake.
And I think as well, like, the guy who adapted the book into the screenplay, his name is Jeffrey Boehm. He also did the screenplay for heaps of movies we've done on the podcast. Inner Space.
Oh, yep.
The Lost Boys.
Ah, yeah.
You liked it.
I did. I nearly dressed up as one of the Lost Boys the other day, yeah.
He also did The Last Crusade. That's a pretty big one.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, that little old movie.
He said that he thought that the Stephen King book was too long and boring.
Yep, there you go.
So he was like not a fan of the book, I guess.
Huh.
So it was on purpose for him. The book's kind of too long and boring, so I'm just gonna make it like 3 episodes and then turn that into a movie.
Yeah, it was kind of like 3 acts. It was the start where you see him without the powers, the middle where he gets his powers and is sort of adapting, and the end is where he uses his powers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because you've read the book and watched this movie and gone, they've cut out a lot. I'm not sure if I like that. Whereas the writer, he was like, yeah, I want to cut all this shit out. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, which I find interesting because I'm like, for a movie, because the book isn't great. I don't think the book is that good, but he doesn't actually change anything. He just cuts out the structure.
Mm.
That's all he really changes. There's a couple changes here and there, particularly with the start and how he gets into a coma that we'll talk about in spoilers. But yeah, like he doesn't really change anything aside from just like the order where things are introduced. Like that's pretty much all he does. So I'm like, if you aren't a fan of the book, then like go wild, change the whole thing. Like I don't care, adapt it how you want to adapt it. If you want to cut out like half of the story and add in your own.
To be honest, I think he did. I think he did everything he wanted to do to this story, right? Because I feel like it hit its beats. It is a bit more simple, but I liked it. I could watch this film again.
Yeah, all right. But could you watch the TV show adaptation, Zach?
No. I'm just going to throw it out here. No, because I have no idea that this even existed, and that probably means it's garbage.
Yeah, Stephen King's The Dead Zone was a TV show from 2002, starring Anthony Michael Hall as John Smith. It ran for 6 seasons for some reason.
Whoa. Oh, maybe it could be good then.
I don't know what this is. I think it's like a week-to-week mystery, like cop show.
I mean, that could work. There is a point in the film where he gets involved with the cops, so that would make sense. I could see that just being extended, and like, because there is sort of like a cut in the film where he like moves, and it's implied there's been a lot of time in between.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see him like coming to terms with his powers and other things, and like the drama with his ex-wife, you know, or ex-girlfriend, I should say, you know, like, I could see this being made into a show. 6 seasons, though? Good lord.
6 seasons, and it was cancelled on a cliffhanger as well.
Oh.
So it doesn't even have an ending.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
Anyway, what are you going to rate The Dead Zone?
The Dead Zone, I'm going to give The Dead Zone, spoiler alert, I'm going to give it exactly what I'm going to give the other movie, a goodie. I'm predicting the future, Sandra. I'm predicting the future. I'm going to say I'm also going to give the other one a goodie because I both like both of these films. Spoilers.
Okay, well then what do you think I'm going to give them if you're so good at predicting things?
Well, I can only see the future, Sandra. I can't see right now what you're going to predict this one, but I think you're going to give the next film. Actually, I have no idea. I'm going to say a goodie. That's my prediction.
Well, yeah, you saying that you have no idea makes me think that comas aren't real because you don't seem sure of what's going on.
I don't know what's real anymore. You know, it's almost like I'm in some sort of weird dreamscape that I'm in some sort of coma myself in real life.
Why'd you have to use the word coma? Because dreamscape, I 100% buy.
Oh, you were agreeing me with dreamscape, but not with comas.
No such thing as comas, but dreamscape.
So do you think I'm in like a quick nap? Is that what you think I'm in? Do you believe in like a quick naps?
I do like a bit of a power nap.
What about a sleep?
No, they don't exist.
No
one sleeps. What are you talking about?
Naps exist, but sleeping doesn't.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, what's your opinion on this film?
I thought The Dead Zone was fine. I don't know. I thought it was okay. Would I recommend it to people, though? Honestly, I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I think I might give this one an oldie. Not because it's bad, just because I'm like, it's fine.
You don't really care? I could see that. I think that's fair. Something about this film really, like, I was just like, I kind of went along with it, you know? It was possibly because it was, you know, late at night. I'd been home from work. I was exhausted, mentally drained. And I was like, if this film mentally challenges me, I'm going to pile drive Sandro into the ground.
Nice.
And then it didn't mentally challenge me at all. It showed me a concept. And then, it went to the end of the concept. And I was like, there we go. That was a fun little story.
I think it's got some really good moments. And I liked the last half hour, maybe 40 minutes a lot. I really enjoyed the last bit of the movie.
I like how it ramps up. It gets a little wacky, you know.
It gets so wacky.
Just a little wacky. Just a little wacky.
So I enjoyed all that, but I don't know. I don't think it's one of my favorites. I don't think I'll be recommending it.
Yeah.
So I'll give it an oldie, but it's by no means bad.
For you, it's like a mid film.
Yeah.
And I've already rated it a goodie, so you got to give it an oldie, and that gives it that sort of mid rating.
But now let's move over to Videodrome.
Videodrome?
The Videodrome movie, which is considered to be one of Cronenberg's best movies of all time.
That is fair. I could see why.
Because it's written and directed by him himself. I thought Videodrome was pretty excellent.
Oh, thank God. My prediction's going to be true. Yeah, no, this was awesome. This was really fun. This is like the other end of the coin where it was like, I wonder if they're gonna. Oh my God! What the fuck was that? Wait a minute! What the? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Ooh,
Having been like, because I haven't seen a lot of Cronenberg, but I know that he goes pretty hard a lot of the time. Like, he's known for just fucked up body horror shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, watching The Dead Zone, I was like, he's really restraining himself on this. And then to watch Videodrome, it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he was not in this one, and it's great. It starts off like pretty reasonable, you know. You're a little, it's a little bit risque. You know, you're a bit like, ooh, this is a bit of imagery, and then you thought that was bad. It's gonna get fucking crazy in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's going wild. You got fucking horny DVD tapes. Like, fucking, what's going on?
This movie is just like, yeah, like it starts off and you're like, wow, this sure has a lot of porn in this movie. And then you're like, oh, wait, hang on. This is a commentary on sex and violence in movies. And you're like, very interesting, but I'm intrigued. By the mystery.
Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. This movie's batshit insane.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh my God, what the fuck's happening? And then your mind melts for about an hour.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Videodrome is.
Yeah, you try and figure it out, and then it hits a wall, and then your brain just melts, and then you watch the rest of the film and go, wait, what?
Wait, what's going on? What is this?
What's going on? Do I have to go bang a videotape? What is...
Maybe you gotta let a videotape bang you, Zach.
Ooh, maybe. Yes. Oh, maybe I need it to, like, chest impale me. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this film. But it was very funny. I like this as a sort of, like... It plays on the fear of technology.
Oh, yeah, it does do that a little bit.
Yeah. This is something I'm like... I really wish I was around back when this film got released to watch it in cinema at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it plays on that, like, it's like half the concept is it plays on the fear of new technology and what it could do, you know? This is a sci-fi film about videotapes and videos and media and stuff and what it could do to people, right?
Yeah, well, it's specifically... Yeah, like videotapes, TV as well.
TV, yeah.
That was like an interesting time, was like the 80s in particular was when everyone was like, TV's gonna melt your mind because the programming's so fucking dumb. It's for dumb people.
Yeah.
And that was before reality TV even came along too. Like,
yeah, which is wild. They were true. They were right. They were right the whole time.
They were correct, yeah.
But it's really interesting because it plays on that fear. So, like, the whole, like, you could get hypnotized by the television, like, someone could broadcast, like, some subliminal messaging, that sort of thing. That was, like, a big culture thing, right?
Yeah.
And so this really played into that sort of thing, and I'm like, wow, that would have been so good to see back then. You, like... imagine you're like 12-year-old you goes and sees that and is like, I can never watch TV ever fucking again. Like, fucking holy shit.
I liked how the movie as well as like, I don't know if the movie's pro or anti-TV. It's more pro and anti-government, I guess. We'll get into that in spoilers.
Ooh.
But the movie is like, watching violent porn ruins your brain. Watching endless violence and gore on TV bloody ruins your brain. But we're still gonna show it. We're still gonna make our own violent shit and show it to you.
I think it's like, it gets too violent and too sexual, and that's the problem, Sandro.
Exactly.
You should keep your violence and sex family-friendly.
Yes. Should keep it at about, let's say, like a light M15 plus.
Yeah. You should do something like The Idea of You, a 2024 movie starring Anna Hathaway, where a 40-year-old single mum begins an unexpected romance with a 24-year-old boy.
Okay, for context, my partner and I watched that movie last night, and it's the reason why I'm tired today. and it was terrible. But is it a joke? I don't know. I think it's a joke.
But that's the ideal range you should keep your
That is the ideal range that you should keep your
violent sexual urges.
Violent media at, yeah. Yeah, I think Videodrome, it's hard to talk about in non-spoilers because it's so freaking weird.
Yep.
So many plot details. So I'm just going to slap a goodie on it, I think.
Well, I'm going to get a goodie videotape and then shove it into someone's stomach and play that for them. It's like mind control things. Is this happening in real life? Are they able to adapt real life? It's implied that they do, but also, or is it just an elaborate illusion that he's seeing? Who knows? It's a goodie.
Yeah, a couple goodies for Videodrome.
Yeah, Videodrome was great. It was very trauma-esque as well. There was a lot of gore.
It was very trauma, yeah. It was like Canadian trauma.
Oh, yeah, sorry about the trauma, yeah.
It was quite trauma, but I think also that's just like the 80s was like very... The Dead Zone, like movies like that, which are like kind of high budget, and then like kid movies and stuff were also a big thing in the 80s, and then you just had shit like this.
Yeah.
Where people were like, we're just gonna push the censors as hard as we can go.
Oh, yeah, that's it. It's like 80s. It's like there's like a tipping point where they're like trying to get around it, and then they're like, fuck it. And then they just go...
Yeah.
It's great.
I think the version that we saw might have been the extended cut as well.
Yep.
Because there's a bunch of stuff that was cut out initially from the movie. Really weird scenes were cut out initially.
Oh, yeah.
You know the video that they're watching at the very start of the movie? Like the samurai video?
Yep.
That's what the classification board thought was too much.
Oh, really?
That's
wow.
what they were like, you have to cut this. I'm like, out of everything, that's what they got notes on?
That's very weird. Yeah, that's very bizarre. Knowing the rest of the film, that's very bizarre.
The movie was well received, but also not at all. Like, it bombed pretty hard, but then found a cult following, and everyone's like, this is one of Cronenberg's best movies.
It's funny how that sort of happens, you know? Where you have these movies that aren't well received by, like, a general audience release, but then people just slowly, like, pick it up. I think The Thing was also like that.
Probably. A lot of like David Cronenberg, like John Carpenter, all of the horror guys around that point had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's like all these horror masterpieces with all these fantastical effects and other things. They just didn't see their return on it because people were like, oh, it's a bit icky. I don't know if I want to see this sort of thing. And nowadays, if they were released, people go, whoa, this is wild. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, and the version that we watched was the remastered one too, and it looks pretty. It looks pretty excellent.
Yeah.
It looks top quality. I love being able to see those chest vaginas in HD.
Oh my god.
Yeehaw! It's me, real-life American Sally McSeller, and I'm here with another promo that you're going to be hearing every episode for probably a month. You know what Sandro and Zach hate the most here on Oldie But a Goodie? They hate boring movies. They love good movies, they love bad movies, but they hate boring movies. And that's what you can hear them rant about over on patreon.com this month. It's the Donnie Darko sequel, S. Darko. Here's a clip.
But do you know what the S stands for in S. Darko?
What does the S stand for in S. Darko?
I know it's not the fun facts yet, but I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
It stands for fucking shit. That's what it fucking stands for. Shit Darko is what this movie's called.
That's right, that's
right. It's fucking shit. And it has caused me no end of anguish and pain. And it might be one of the most painful films that it's caused me physical grief in real life.
This one was really bad. There were like multiple days where I sat down to watch it, and I just didn't.
Yep.
I just didn't watch it until it was too late. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta watch it now.
Yeah. No, it definitely took me a couple of days to watch this film.
How many days? 3 days.
3 days. 3 days was the exact, which is ironic in a way.
Man, I didn't even know this movie existed before these two boys reviewed it over on Patreon, and now I fucking hate them for telling me the movie exists. It sounds god-awful, but you know what isn't awful? Their review, which is just an hour of ranting over on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod. Get the whole back catalog of bonus episodes, plus you can get ad-free episodes so you never have to hear my voice ever again. That's something else that we hate here at Oldie Buddy Goodie. It's ads. Aside from the people who sponsor this podcast, they're cool. Anyway, patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod. Woohoo! All right, now we would usually do taglines, but I think we should do taglines as a category, Zach.
Whoa! Now that's a twist. That's a new category. We've never done taglines as a category. I like that.
I think that'd be pretty fun, and they both have a bunch of taglines, so I think it could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because now, Zach, it's time for the bonus battle!
Bonus battle!
Get those opinions, chuck them inside your chest hole, because we're not gonna bloody talk about them. They're not important right now. We only need facts. And I guess science, even though I hate science. Science sucks.
My opinion has been hit by a car and is in a coma. It won't be joining us this evening. I'm gonna go marry a different opinion.
Yeah.
The opinion of science.
Oh! Alright, if you're not familiar with a bonus battle, we're gonna get a bunch of categories that we haven't come up with yet. We'll come up with that on the podcast, because there's no guests, so we could just kind of just do it.
We could just wing it.
On The Fly by David Cronenberg. I do want to watch that for the podcast at some point. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. Oh, dear. That's one of the classic monster things that we haven't covered that I was looking at, I think the whole time we were doing some of the, 60s or something. I was like, The Fly would be good, but we never got around to it.
Well, I wanted to do, because The Fly and The Blob, the originals came out in the same year, and then the remakes also came out pretty close together.
Yeah.
So I would love to do a bonus battle where we do the original Fly and The Blob, and then we do the remake Fly and The Blob.
Oh my god, a bonus battle.
Exactly. I don't know when we do that.
That sounds awful. But yeah, no, that could take a while of filming and watching.
But anyway, we got categories. We're going to rate those categories out of 5 or 10?
Let's go 5.
All right, out of 5. And then we each rate the categories, or do we come up with our own? What do we do?
We could come to a consensus.
Come to a consensus? I think consensus is good.
That's the easier to track.
Yeah.
But it usually if we come to a consensus, we come to a middle ground, and that's a more even, spread out sort of score.
I feel like a consensus is good. We can do a consensus this time around for sure. So we do that. We come to a consensus, and then at the end we add them all up, and we see which one's the best one.
That's it.
Even though these movies aren't very similar, usually we're what's the best Mel Brooks parody movie? What's the best 1930s monster movie?
Well, this is the thing, right? Objectively, these different movies will earn more points in different categories.
Yes.
At least they should, right? And that way, we can judge which movie is better by how well they did overall, not how well they did specifically in the same thing, you know? If it's just two horror movies, it's which one's scarier? Oh, this one. There you go. Bonus battle done. But this one, the scary thing is we might have opinions. But we don't. Yeah. No
a little bit more. There's no opinions. All right. Let's jump into the first category then, which is whatever you want it to be.
Oh, okay. Let's go. I'm going to go first category, story.
Story.
Yeah. I think overarching story throughout the whole thing, the plot, and of course the ending.
All right. And by the way, spoilers.
Yes, it is spoilers time.
Let's kick it off with the Dead Zone then. Story for the Dead Zone. A man is in a coma, and he has The Shining.
But wait, Sandro, how did he get into this coma?
Well, it depends which version you read and
Whoa!
watch. That was the only major difference between the book and the movie was the start of the book, it goes on forever. I think the first, half hour of the movie is probably over half of the book.
Wow.
They really sped through it, which is fair enough, because it's all character stuff.
Yeah.
In the book, it's they go to a carnival, and he's, predicting card games and stuff, and he wins heaps of money, but he gets so much money that he gets like a headache or something, and then he's like, I'll drop you home, my girlfriend. Oh my god, I'm walking home, I get hit by a car. Oh no, what's going on? You know, like stuff like that. Whereas in this, it's like, they went on a roller coaster, now he's driving home, and he's in a coma now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting that he was showing psychic abilities before he got into the coma.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Well, the book opens with him as a kid saving another kid who's ice skating, which they do in this movie, but they do it with him as an adult.
Yeah. They add that bit in as an adult. Oh, that's very interesting.
Which I thought was pretty cool. I liked how they kept that in. I thought that was done very well.
I quite liked the story of this one as a sort of simple, like, he gets into a coma, he wakes up, all his previous life is pretty much gone, but now he has psychic powers, and he's trying to, get back his life. He starts doing a bit of tutoring and stuff, but also he has psychic fucking powers and can predict the future. And then, like, there's this random reporter that's like, oh, you have psychic powers, will predict something for me. And then he starts predicting it, and he's like, oh, shit, fuck, no, get away from me, you freak.
I really liked how his powers are shown in the movie, because I think the first time we see it is when he touches the doctor.
Yeah.
And he sees the World War II flashback. And I was like, why the fuck are we watching a World War II movie now? And then that happens again at the end when he shakes hands with Martin Sheen and sees the future of that character. It just turns into a different movie for like 5 minutes. It's really, really well done. I really enjoyed how they did that. I thought that was very fun.
Yeah, he like has this World War sort of survivor as a psychiatric doctor, and he like reads his past and or future, and he's like, oh hey, your mum's alive. And he's like, what, you idiot? She died in the war. And he's like, nope, here's her address. And it's like, whoa, shit.
His powers are kind of like, he does whatever the plot wants him to do.
Yeah.
Like, he does the past, he does the future. It just kind of depends on what the story wants.
Yeah, but I think that's a reasonable, like, story thing of, like, he has these random fucking psychic powers. They can do whatever the fuck they want with them. Like, it makes sense.
Well, Zach, they're The Shining, and The Shining only ever does plot-related shinings.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's The Shining. It does plot.
There are no rules for The Shining, Zach.
Apparently. The Doctor had such dumb logic throughout this film, and I was annoyed with it.
Yeah, Dr. Wyzak he's pretty bad in the book, so...
Oh, is he?
I'm glad that they kind of kept him...
What do you mean by bad?
Okay, I've got a weird relationship with this character, because when I say I read the book, I mean I got the audiobook.
Nice. The audiobook's gotta do the audiobook.
Well, here's the thing. The audiobook is read by sex criminal James Franco.
Oh, no.
So, instantly I was like, I don't want to listen to this guy's voice for 20 hours.
Yep. No, that's fair.
But I did. I was like, but I'm not just going to read it, because I can't concentrate on a book on a train. I need the audio as well.
Yeah.
For some reason, James Franco decided for the character of Sam Wyzak, the Doctor, that the voice he would do for Sam Wyzak is the same voice he would later go on to do for Tommy Wiseau in the movie about the making of The Room.
No.
So, the Doctor in the audiobook is like, I did not hit her, I did not. Like, it's the voice.
God.
He does the voice.
That's so bad.
It's kind of racist a little bit, because I'm like, you're taking someone whose name is like that and you're doing that voice, what are you doing? But it's also just so distracting. It's so unbelievably distracting.
Oh my god, that's wild.
So the fact that we had an actual performance for that character really helped.
Yeah.
me in the movie.
Well, that is some wild backstory for that character. I was just going to point out two things. He has one moment where he doesn't talk to his mum, and he goes, "Oh, it was never meant to be." He's had 40, 60 years or something without talking with his mum. He's scared to talk with his mum. That makes sense, all right? I can see that for a character, right? later on into the film, he's asked, if you were going to go back in time and had the chance to kill Hitler, would you do it? And he's like, yeah, I'd fucking shoot that bitch. I was like, whoa, doctor. He goes on this thing like, I have like responsibilities as a doctor to do no harm to no patients. But then he pulls out the argument of like, for the greater good, like he saved billions of lives by killing this one life. And it's like, whoa, this doctor kills. I'm just saying, he's spouting a lot of bullshit, is what I'm saying. This doctor isn't as doctory as he should be.
No, for sure. Well, like he's meant to be like a doctor who's also like, all this weird supernatural stuff is real.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But it was funny. I liked him. But it was just weird logic that guy used.
What else is in the plot of this? Oh yeah, he's got a girlfriend. He's in a coma for 5 years, so she gets married and has a kid. But
yep,
it's a weird moment in the book. It's a weird moment in the movie. She's like, "Let's fuck."
Yep,
my kid's asleep.
Yeah.
It's better in the movie, because in the book...
Oh, ew, really?
She's like, it's not really cheating, because I feel like we should have done this while you weren't in a coma.
Like, wow, yeah. I was gonna say, she's using a little monkey logic there. She is trying to justify so she can get her cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And she does, which is kind of infuriating, because she doesn't wait for him to get out of the coma, which, to be fair... The comas can go from, like, you know, a year to 40, right?
For sure.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Or just never waking up. Like, comas, it's pretty traumatic. It's pretty bad. But, like, yeah, she has, she's married a guy and had a child. Like, you have exited out of the previous relationship. You're not allowed to jump back into that previous relationship like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. He can totally do that, because for him, it's literally been like a day or two since they were going to get married, right? So I feel like he's not to blame. Like, in his mind, she is still his girlfriend. But for her... She should not be naughty. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I feel like her character is, I don't know if it's on purpose, because it's Stephen King, and he's a little weird, but she's definitely not a good person.
No.
When you look at it, at any of the information we have throughout the movie, as to what she does.
Oh yeah, that's true, because she's also helping the bad guy. The twist, well, not the twist, but like the bad guy that no one knows is the bad guy because they don't have psychic powers, but also that
well, the
one
bad guy's
guy...
a lot less obviously insidious in this.
Yeah. He's just he's a politician. So innately you're like, ew, a politician. But other than that, it's not like you know he's going to be really bad, right?
Yeah.
All you know is he's just like a politician and you go a bit ick. And there's this other guy, he's like, yeah, that guy's a politician. He's no good. He's full of shit, you know, which was quite funny. I liked the guy who was like smoozing with him earlier. So the guy comes to tutor his child, and the first time we meet Michael Sheen, he's like schmoozing up this rich guy. He's like, oh, vote for me. With your support, we could win, that sort of thing. And he's like, oh, yes, of course I will. And then he leaves and he's like, I'm never supporting that guy. That guy's a huge piece of shit. and of course, Christopher Walken, he's like, wow, but you were just talking with him and saying you were supporting him.
We'll talk about Christopher Walken's performance later, but yeah.
It was weird having Christopher Walken as the main character here. I was not used to it. And he's like, oh no, I just say that to like make sure he doesn't come after me in case he wins.
Yeah, exactly. I really liked how they handled that character. Yeah, he's played by Martin Sheen. He's basically like kind of like a left-wing Trump, like a left-wing working class Trump. He's just like, he's gotten popular and he's getting votes because he's like doing it how politicians don't usually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why he's getting popular. But he's also just the worst.
Ironically, he is just like a Trump character, but from 1983. Like, they predicted Trump's coming. Except he's a bit younger than Trump in this. he's moving about. He does like 100 push-ups or something at one point.
Yeah, he's younger and he's like working class and he's like, I'm one with the people. I know what you really need. We need an actual leader. Whereas Trump went more for like political correctness is freaking crazy, man. Oh. I liked, how like Christopher Walken is like, I'm sus on this guy instantly.
Well, yeah, that other guy is like, yeah, you can't trust him. And then he's gonna, when they did the obvious fake out, where he goes to shake, Martin Sheen's hand.
Yeah.
And, Martin Sheen just places a vote for me badge in his hand instead of shaking it. I really like
that as well. That was very well done.
That was very funny, but also it was kind of a spoiler, like, there is going to be something when he shakes his hand that's going to be like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And it was.
And that's a really interesting thing, because, in the book, we see that character's kind of rise from, like, small-town mayor. We're not introduced to him at this point in the story. He's introduced in, like, chapter 3 or 4. And straight from the get-go, you're like, this guy's a bad dude. You know the bodyguard that he has throughout the movie?
Yeah. I bet he has a lot more story in the book than this movie.
It's completely different in the book, because in the book, he enlists a bikie gang to be his bodyguards.
Nice.
And so he's like, I'm reforming the youth. I'm taking them out of jail. I'm giving them jobs. But what he's actually doing is, he's hiring a bikie gang so that they can bully everyone that doesn't like him.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I wish they had done that. I mean, they had the bodyguard, and he was, like, kind of big, kind of tough, But I didn't get that. If he was in, like, full leather jacket, like, intimidating style, that would have been really funny. I would have enjoyed that a little bit more. He would have seemed a bit more sinister, a bit more presence in the film.
Yeah, but I'm happy with what they did here. Like, I think Martin Sheen's great in this role.
Yeah. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't, like... He had, like... 2 scenes in this film. It really wasn't. Oh, and the ending where he like walks off, which is quite funny.
I love the ending of this movie. It's so much better than the book, where I just got bored and lost interest. In the movie, like Christopher Walken's like, I gotta assassinate this guy. I gotta kill him.
Yeah. So, spoilers for the ending. He shakes Martin Sheen's hand at one point and sees the future where Martin Sheen, like, starts World War III by launching nukes.
He just launches nukes, and everyone's like, don't do this. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm Martin Sheen, and I'm launching them nukes.
Yeah, he literally becomes like a dictator in the future, which is wild.
I love that they showed that scene as well. Like, that adds so much to the story. Like, they could be like, I'm Christopher Walken, and I say that this guy is going to start a war. And you'd be like, okay, I guess you should kill him then. In this, they show you him starting the war, and you're like, oh yeah. This guy
could end the world. He's gotta be stopped. And so Christopher Walken, he gets a gun.
Yep.
And he goes and assassinates the president, and nothing goes wrong.
Well, he tries to assassinate the president, but what he actually does is he assassinates his image, because he goes to shoot Martin Sheen, and Martin Sheen's like, oh my god, someone's shooting at me, so he grabs a baby and uses a baby as a shield. And then people take photos of that, and then he's cancelled.
It's such a dumb fucking... Oh my god, it's so... It is a very silly ending, and it gets especially silly because, he shoots at him, and then the bodyguard, I think, shoots him back. And so he gets shot and he falls down from the balcony and he's on the ground. And of course his ex-girlfriend's there and she's like, why? It's like, you'd never understand.
Yeah, that was added in the book because it's her baby as well that's used as a human shield. Yeah. In the book, they're not even there. Like, it's whatever.
I like that they were there, and I think it's very funny. It's cool because he's using that guy's previous ex-girlfriend's baby as a shield. So, of course, he can't shoot the baby, right? Because, it's hers.
I like it from the sense of, like, all of this was meant to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it does feel a bit preordained.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, oh, man, you could do such a great remake of this movie.
Oh, 100%. I would love them to remake this. I think it would be really cool.
The whole preordained destiny, and that's how... he can see the futures, the like preordained destinies or some shit. That would be wild.
Very Donnie Darko Final Destination vibes. I like it, yeah.
And I like Martin Sheen like goes up to shake him. He's like, "Who sent you? Who sent you?" sort of thing. But then he gets to touch Martin Sheen again, which means he sees the future, and he sees the future has changed. He sees that Martin Sheen fucking kills himself in the future.
Yeah, Martin Sheen has like a copy of the newspaper which has the photo of him holding up a baby, and then he just shoots himself in the head, which was
so
very
over the top dramatic.
So over the top, but very Cronenberg. I liked, because this movie only gets Cronenberg for like a couple of moments. There's a moment where he's where Christopher Walken helps find a serial killer. That whole sequence is very Cronenberg. Very Italian horror, like a lot of like sharp objects getting pushed into eyeballs and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that was very like, oh yeah, here we go. Now we're in the Cronenberg vibes. And then the ending is just over the top dumb Cronenberg, which was very fun.
But it's good. I liked the rest of the film, and I liked this a little bit. I think it was a good story with a fun ending.
I liked the story here. There's a lot of stuff at the start where I'm like, take it or leave it. But once you get to like the serial killer part, everything from that point onwards, aside from anything that Sarah does, is
the serial killer part was also really good. I really liked that. Like, it's like, okay, he debates for a while whether to use his powers to help people, but eventually he decides to help people, and he uses his psychic powers to discover that one of the cops is killing people. And then he goes to their house and he like touches the mum, and he's like, the mum knew the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit.
And that was something else about the book, like, to bring up the other major difference is in the book, all throughout it, the serial killer is killing. And you even get, like, short chapters from his perspective, like, when he's, like, a teenager, and then when he's, like, a young adult and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
And they cut all that, which is fair enough, but, like,
yeah, that would be a fun bit of the story to have the killer in the background as well.
Yeah. A bit more involved, like, just like a poster on, like, a street lamp.
Yeah.
Be like, there's a serial killer out and about. Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah. He was just sort of had the small segment in this film.
Yeah.
Rather than being a presence throughout the film.
Yeah.
If I was to remake this film, I want the serial killer to also be psychic.
No, he was.
He was?
The serial killer is... Oh, no, maybe it's Martin Sheen. One of the other characters is meant to be psychic as well in the book.
Oh, interesting.
But, like, a different sort of psychic. He's like a rage psychic.
Oh.
He gets...
A rage psychic?
Because Christopher Walken... He's like, he touches someone and like he enters the dead zone.
Yeah.
He like gets overwhelmed by a sense of like knowledge, I guess, and like what's to come. And then Martin Sheen, he gets overwhelmed by like rage. Like he's not actually the worst guy. He just gets washed over by like
psychic rage. Yeah.
Like the book opens and he kicks a dog to death as a kid.
Wow.
Like that's how the book opens.
Yeah. That actually makes more sense that he's the villain then now, and he does all these wild things.
Yeah.
It's almost not his fault. He just has the literal psychic powers are driving him, so he could be a normal person most of the time, but then he gets hit by these psychic things and he does something deranged.
That's kind of what the book was saying,
him in the future. Oh my god! And then the psychic powers cause him to cause World War III. That's wild.
Yeah, he's got like
I like that a lot.
He's got the if the Shining were Green Lanterns, he would have the Red Lantern Shining.
Yeah, he has the Red Lantern ring. Yeah, exactly. That's great. I love that.
Anyway, out of 5, story-wise for Dead Zone,
I'm a big fan. You don't have to be the biggest fan. I could agree to that, but I liked it a lot. So I'm thinking a 4.
Okay.
A 4 is what I want to do.
I was thinking like a 3.5 because I liked most of it aside from like the start and everything with Sarah.
Ooh, okay. So where do you want the middle ground to go? Do you want to go up or down? What's your thought? I could go for a 3.5. I don't mind.
We could go for a 3.75.
Yeah, I hate
right
that.
in the middle.
I genuinely hate that more than anything in the world. So let's do it.
All right, 3.75. This is a brand new bonus battle. We're not just doing 0.5s anymore.
That hurts. That's disgusting. We got a 0.25. Oh.
That's right. That's pretty gross. Anyway, speaking of gross,
Ooh.
story for Videodrome. Now, there is a story in Videodrome.
Absolutely.
It's not obvious what it is.
Yeah. It's because this film was wild. This film
Yes.
is wild.
So, it opens and we're introduced to the main character who straight from the get-go you're like, this guy sucks. You know what I mean?
He's not a great person. He's very sleazy.
Yes. He's like sleazy, but like, is he being sleazy because he feels like he's meant to be sleazy? Because like he watches all this shit and I'm like, I don't feel like he enjoys any of this. I don't feel like he's like his heart is in what he's doing.
No.
At any point in the movie. Like, it's an interesting character that they just don't explore, really, which I like as well.
I think in the past he would have been more passionate, but nowadays, because he's like the big CEO, right?
Yeah.
Or he's in charge of this thing. Like, he's just more business nowadays than anything.
Yeah.
But he is innately a bit of a sleazy guy, but he's a bit more handsome, you know, he's a bit more well put together than a lot of other sleazy guys, and he's a bit more charismatic, so he gets away with being a bit more sleazy, you know?
So he runs a no, he doesn't run a pirate station, but he runs a kind of like do-it-yourself TV station. I don't think it's pirate for him. He just steals programming from pirate station.
Well, I don't think he steals from everyone. I'm pretty sure he just runs a like minor television station.
Yeah.
Like a minor one. It's like Channel 83. It's like not one of the big ones. Barely anyone watches it. You have to have like super cable, that sort of thing. So it's like a niche place where they get pornography.
Yes.
And he like has some recruiters around to try and get, you know, risque shows and other things on, and they're trying to, you know, get the best sort of like wacky stuff they can put on there to entice viewers on. And that's sort of what he's doing for the like first half of this film, is like trying to find interesting and good pornographic / very graphic, just in general, material that they can put onto his network.
Yeah, and he finds a broadcast called Videodrome.
Yeah.
From one of the guys, who like helps him find programs and stuff, like scans all the pirates.
Yeah, there's like a 90s, well, I guess in this case, 80s hacker dude.
Yeah, he is an 80s hacker dude. He looked just like the guy from like National Treasure. Like it was like that sort of like hacker vibe. It was great. He's got
the glasses, he's got the tech jargon.
Yeah.
You know, and like he's like, oh yes, I intercepted this from Malaysia, but it wasn't actually from Malaysia. It was a fake delay that they put on it.
That's right. They put a VPN on that pirate TV signal.
This podcast is brought to you by
NordVPN. No,
whoa, I wish.
NordVPN are too slow. Use other VPNs.
Other VPNs are available. But yeah, no, it's actually in Pittsburgh. Wink, wink.
That's right. But yeah, then Max is like, it's kind of like The Ring. This movie's kind of like The Ring a little bit in that he's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with this broadcast. And he's like trying to get information about it. He's doing a lot of research. And then in doing the research, he goes down a rabbit hole of wildness.
The Ring definitely feels like it took a little bit of inspiration from this, I feel.
I think Ring... The original Japanese movie definitely came after this. I don't know if the book came after this or not. I have read the book. It's fucking weird.
Oh, that's true. The book, look, it sounds like probably one of those things where two people have the same idea in separate situations, but it's very similar sort of thing. By watching Videodrome, he gets sort of infected by Videodrome.
Yes.
His brain starts to... I don't want to say deteriorate. It could be. That's the thing. It's also very vague what happens. It could be him deteriorating, or it could be what they're saying, which is it's evolving.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking as well. Is it evolving or something?
That's what they say is happening.
Yeah.
But it could just be he's going batshit crazy.
Yeah, but it's also like military brainwashing as well, is what...
Yeah.
But is that what Videodrome is? Or is that just his imagination? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And that's the best bit. I like that it's a bit more vague. This is the movie where it was like, you're gonna have to fucking think now, buddy, because this is wild.
Yes, you do have to think to watch this movie, but you also, like, don't think too hard. Just let it wash over you.
Oh, yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you try and figure this out while you're watching it, you're gonna get frustrated.
Oh yeah, this is because it's meant to be vague. It's meant to be understandable. That's the sort of thing. Because he watches this videotape, and then things start just like reality starts getting a little bit stretched, a little bit vague at the edges.
That's right. He makes out with a TV.
Yeah,
That's right. His girlfriend, who is a radio host. Who is the lead singer of the band Blondie,
Nice.
randomly in this. Don't know why she was there. Very funny.
well, she's also has like a self-help show as well, which is quite funny.
Yes.
Because the whole thing is like, oh yeah, she's meant to be the mentally well person, but then he takes her home and she's super kinky.
Yeah.
She wants to do BDSM and watch BDSM videos and get a cigarette put out on her, which would hurt.
She puts pins through her ears.
Oh yeah, that's
through
right.
the holes that have already been pierced, so it's not really, probably isn't that painful, but there's pins going through people on screen. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was a bit wild. I was like, ooh, I am uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. This film, it does great jobs at trying its best and succeeding, I would say, at making you uncomfortable.
So yeah, the whole movie is just kind of Max running around having hallucinations and then also figuring out
Or are they hallucinations?
Yeah, or
are
they
him manipulating reality with his new powers from Videodrome?
Exactly. Who knows? Because he's like, there's so many plot twists and we get so much plot detail in this movie that's then kind of retconned later, or we get competing information later in the movie, so we're like, wait, but okay, was what we already knew, is that not real? Or is the fact that we're now deeper into the hallucination, anything past this point is just in his mind?
Yeah, because it gives you information at the start of the film, but then it says that information is wrong. But the problem is he could just be crazy
Exactly.
now. And so that information that we have received could just be wrong, or it could be true. One scene in particular, it makes me think that it's true, is when he kills the hacker dude, which is probably one of my favorite scenes in cinema.
The ending of this movie is so, like, American Psycho, like that sort of movie, like Vampire's Kiss, where it's like, oh, he's just killing people now.
Yeah, I laughed so hard when the hacker dude died. I just want to bring it up now because I was in tears laughing. When the hacker dude, like, They do this thing later on when he's more, he's gotten deeper into the Videodrome. And he gets this, like, chest cavity.
Chest vagina.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but you said it, and I knew you would say
Zach, it's a chest vagina. Call it what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. And then they insert videotapes into it for him
Fucking
to
hell, that
watch.
was so cool. I love that so much. But not just videotapes, fleshy videotapes.
Yeah, well, at first they seem like normal videotapes. Like, the first ones they insert a normal, but then they start doing the veiny thing. Earlier, I just gotta mention it, the, like, videotape / TVs, like, they pulse, they bulge with, like, veins, and they're like, ugh.
Yeah, he, like, I don't even know what to say what he does to the TV. Does he finger the TV? I don't know. He does something to the TV.
I don't know what's going on.
It's wild. I like when he whipped the TV. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So the videotapes get, like, more weird as they're going through. They get, like, more veiny. Like, the last one, that the hacker dude, is just like a flesh tape. It's not even a videotape at that point. It's just a congealed pile of flesh that looks a bit like a videotape. And he inserts that, but then he uses his, like, chest vagina powers to, like, grip his hand and turn his hand into a grenade.
Yes.
Which is wild. he like gains control of his new flesh powers from the other lady.
That the daughter of Brian Oblivion.
Brian Oblivion.
Yeah.
Who was the first, like, one to watch Videodrome? The first one to be experimented on?
Who knows?
Yeah. It's not entirely clear, but he's also watched Videodrome, and he's, like, made these videotapes. He's made thousands of videotapes. He died, like, 2 years ago, but they're still playing him on television by playing certain tapes.
Yeah, I loved that. I thought
which
that
is
was
a
great.
wild concept. That's very good.
I loved how they excused that at the start as well. He's like, I don't like TV. My whole purpose is to show people the TV is brainwashing. And so to do that, I will only appear on TV.
Yeah.
And we see him doing an interview, like, on a TV in the studio. His face is on a TV in the studio. And I thought that was very funny.
It's very wild, very wild. He tries to kill her, and she defeats him by breaking him out of the Videodrome and bringing him to the new flesh.
Yeah, she recodes him so that he's no longer trying to kill people for Videodrome. He's trying to kill people for her cult now, which is the new flesh.
Which is wild.
And then he just, like, goes around, like, shooting people with, like, his chest vagina gun thing.
Yeah.
That he keeps inside his chest and then comes back later. I'm like, where was he keeping that?
Yeah.
What's going on? Is the gun even real? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he, like, turns the hacker guy's hand.
Yep.
He, like, rips off the flesh and reveals a grenade.
Yeah.
And the guy just backs into a wall and then just pops like a fucking balloon. And the wall goes. It was so fucking funny.
It was great.
I was crying laughing for a bit. It was really good.
This movie does, like, all of the gore. It does funny, over-the-top gore. It does uncomfortable gore.
Oh, does it?
It does a fuck ton of body horror where you're like, "Wah!"
Like, near the end, one of the TV explodes and just guts fly everywhere out of it for no fucking reason. It was very funny.
Oh, I liked at the end how he goes to, like... Because he finds out that there's an optometrist that is a front for the government's Videodrome operation. And then at the end, to kill the guy who's, like, running Videodrome, he goes to, like, an eyewear convention.
Yeah.
Where there's, like, singers and dancers doing songs about how great wearing glasses is. And
that's
like,
right.
And that's at the point where I'm like, okay... There's no way that would exist. There's no way that an eye convention to that scale would exist. So, what's going on? Is this all a hallucination? What's happening? I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe... Oh, that's true. It might be a hallucination. I didn't think of that.
But also, is everyone there just brainwashed? Because it is a government event.
Yeah, it could be brainwashed. It could just be like a basic dinner thing.
Yeah.
You know, Sandro, a lot of smoozing, that sort of thing. Rather than just a convention, it's just a big, like, excuse to get all these government officials to smooze. It could be that, in 1983, optometry was a new and upcoming field. So, like, getting glasses and stuff, like, they might have some advancement, that sort of thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's definitely something like a government-sponsored event where there's a lot of money pushed into it. So it's just like a lot of people are coming for the free drinks and food, right? It's one of those sort of events.
It really reminded me, though, of the movie They Live, which is a John Carpenter movie where a guy gets, like, a pair of sunglasses that allows him to, like, see past the government brainwashing. And he sees that everyone's a zombie and all of the advertisement is just, like, consume. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see that film. I've never seen that film, but you see clips of it when he puts on the glasses and then you just see people as drones.
Yeah.
Very funny.
This movie reminded me a lot of that movie, actually.
I think that this was sort of a play on that as well. Where we're seeing into the mind of perhaps one of these government drones. Except he sort of possibly breaks free of it? Question mark?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, he kills himself at the end.
Yeah. Twice. Which is wild.
Oh, yeah, because at that point, the TV is ahead of him and shows him what he's got to do.
Yeah. Which is wild. And they just play the scene twice, which was awesome. I loved it.
I love that, because, like, usually in movies where there's, like, a prescient something, like a TV, it would be, like, slightly different. Like, he would, like, watch himself shoot himself and then be like, oh my god, I gotta do it. And then he does it, but in that scene, he's crying. Or in that scene, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew I have to do it. No, they just show the same scene twice.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
And that's the end of the film,
Yeah.
and it's wild.
Long live the new flesh.
Long live the new flesh.
What does it all mean? I don't know. It's up to interpretation.
It's literally uninterpretable, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I think you can interpret it, but that is not the definitive answer. This has no definitive answer,
No.
which is great. I love that.
The only way to interpret this is don't watch TV.
Don't watch TV.
That's the only interpretation. Yeah.
That's the only conclusive thing I've learned from this film, is that TV bad.
Yes. This movie was very Soylent Green as well.
Yeah. And Soylent Green was great.
It was fantastic. So yeah, no, it was good. Story out of 5. Well,
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna give this another 4. Maybe even actually, you know what? A 4.5.
I would agree with a 4.5. I feel like with Videodrome, like, if this movie didn't have the mystery of him trying to find Videodrome,
Yeah.
story-wise, the movie does just kind of turn into a bunch of weird fake-outs and hallucinations at the end that aren't really story-driven. So if we didn't have that initial mystery of what is Videodrome...
No, but it did, and that's like the plot. Is
Exactly.
like figuring out what the fuck this broadcast is. you
Yeah,
know?
so the plot is just like The Ring. It's like a mystery that kind of drags you through.
The mystery really like pulls you through the story quite well, and I think it's great.
All right, 4.5 there for story. Let's do horror next.
Horror.
Horror is the next category, starting with the Dead Zone.
I'm so scared of this category because it's horrifying.
It's a scary category because the horror in the Dead Zone is psychological, kinda, I guess.
The horror is having to listen to an audio book done by a sexual predator.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's kind of the issue with the Dead Zone audiobook. That's true. That's the real horror. I don't know how to describe the horror in the Dead Zone. It isn't really a horror, but it also is a horror.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I think the horror is existential in a way, because you've got the dictator who ends the world, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it's a bit horrifying. And of course, the ending where he's forced to, there's the killer going around. And some of the imagery and stuff with the multiple bad guys killing themselves.
Yes,
In this movie.
that's true.
Multiple of them do.
It's like Cronenberg, he does love a suicide, so...
Yeah. Oh,
of those
absolutely.
movies.
And well, that's true. Yeah, we in both of these movies, there's quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
It's interesting in this one, I think. You've got comas as sort of the horror as well of like, hey, this could happen to you and your life could sort of just be over in an instant.
Yes.
And you have to rebuild a new one.
Yeah, you've got the horror of, like, being in a coma, and it's only 5 years, too. Like, imagine if it was longer. That would have been even more horrifying.
Was it 5 years in the book?
I think it's 7 years in the book.
7 years, yeah.
Yeah, they changed it a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Well,
it doesn't really matter.
it's got to, like, line up with an election year, I think, so that's probably why they did it.
Makes sense. It's not really a horror movie.
No, well, there are jump scares, though. Like,
There are jump scares.
I think whenever he touches someone and gets their vision, there's like a horror sound that plays. Also, everything with the serial killer is pretty horrifying.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And, like, most of the features he sees are not great. Like, he sees all the kids dying in the lake. And he's like, oh, don't go to the lake. There's going to be an ice collapse and people are going to die.
Yep.
I liked that. I liked the dad was like, nah, we're going to go anyway. Fuck him. He's wrong. And the kid was like, fuck it, no. Dad, shut the fuck up.
I like that part as well. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I like, it's the most, it was so funny because this is pretty much the case in every Stephen King book, is it's like the weird adult with the little boy and they've got a friendship.
Yeah.
That's in every single Stephen King story.
That is, yeah, that is it. Yeah. It's because it's the adult who no one understands can only be understood by a kid.
That's right.
And the kid is also weird for some reason.
Well, I don't know. The kid is like, because the dad is like, you got to talk to my kid because he's not learning properly. And then like Christopher Walken goes and says hi to the kid, and the kid's like, yeah, my dad he's kind of the worst, so
Yeah.
like, I talk to people, like, I'm fine.
Yeah. His dad's opinion is that his kid isn't normal, but his kid's pretty normal. Yeah.
I think the horror of the Dead Zone, and like everything with the ending as well, it's pretty horrifying that someone like that would become president. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Could you imagine if someone outside of politics came in and was suddenly like, I'm going to do politics now, and then riled up the population by being different and more, quote unquote, down to earth, as in they weren't a politician beforehand, and says things that normal politicians wouldn't say because they wouldn't have the fucking balls to do it.
That's right. Things like Hitler had a point, because we're talking about Kanye, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have the balls to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be pretty horrifying.
Yeah, imagine if that happened. 3 for horror?
Yeah, I'll say 3. I was even going to go 2.5 almost.
Yeah.
I feel like going 2.5 now, so we could do 2.75.
2.75. There we go.
Round out our 0.25s, and hopefully that will fix itself, and we won't have to do another one.
The horror of Videodrome, I mean...
Amazing. Everywhere. Everything.
It's pretty good. You've got the existential horror of, like, being brainwashed by the government.
Yeah.
But you've also got, the visual horror.
And we live in now where media is everywhere. Like, back then, it wasn't everywhere. It was new, and it was scary. Like, this film was playing off that specific fear. Much like The Ring. It's like playing off that specific fear.
I think pretty high, yeah, because you've got, like, that whole kind of psychological element of it. You've also got, character not knowing what's real, what isn't real. Yeah, the body horror.
What is going on in reality? There's all this fucked up shit that's happening. Like,
yeah, all the gore and shit. But even just
gore.
Videodrome itself is pretty horrifying. Like,
it is horrifying. A videotape that can change you as a person, cause you to go crazy, and also like start growing shit, not knowing what reality is
going on. Like, also, the program itself, pretty horrifying to watch.
Yeah.
Women being tortured and murdered.
Absolutely. It's wild. Like, seeing when he murders the president guy on stage, and then he just starts, like, bubbling with flesh.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? The guy gets his hand ripped off, turned into a grenade, and then pops like a balloon, which was very funny, but also horrifying. The, like, slow change of reality into the Videodrome reality of, like, things going weird and not knowing. Oh, my God, yeah.
That's right.
This was wild. This is crazy.
Oh, and something else that my partner noticed, actually, with Videodrome was in the background of his apartment, he's got heaps of, like, paintings, but they're all fucked up. It's like a photo of a ballerina. That's Hitler.
Whoa!
It's like a map of the world with a photo of the globe in the middle of it. And you're like, what? What is this? Like, even the set design of this movie is all over the place and weird and kind of scary a little bit. So yeah, pretty high, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't know if I should give it a 4.5 again, but I'm on a 4 or 4.5.
4.5. I'm on a 5 out of 5. I think it gets all sort of horror covered across the entire board.
So a 4.75.
4.75. Perfect.
Fuck.
All right, next category.
No, now we've got a 0.25 on the other score. Shit.
What's another category? We can talk about the acting.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about the acting, because you wanted to talk about Christopher Walken.
Yeah, now, my issues with Christopher Walken in The Dead Zone aren't his acting.
Yeah.
I think he's an okay... It's weird, because I'm not used to seeing him in a main role. He's always kind of the bad guy or, like, a side character.
Yeah, because nowadays we know him as Christopher Walken. He is the Christopher Walken, and he will play a dramatic role. Like, he has to play a big role.
Yes. Whereas in this, he's like main character. He's meant to be really young too.
Yeah.
which was weird.
There was a weird thing where it's like they seemed like Christopher Walken was way older than her, but then after the 5-year coma, they seemed like the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you feel that at all?
I felt that. I felt that as well, yeah.
It was weird.
I think Christopher Walken in this movie, he's good. His performance is good. I liked particularly near the end where he's just like yelling at people. I thought that was all great.
Yeah.
Where he's like, the ice is going to break. He gets like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He's very Nicolas Cage in
Christopher
this movie.
Cage. Yeah, absolutely.
But my problem with Christopher Walken's performance is that...
Christopher Cage, yeah.
Christopher Cage. My problem with his performance isn't his performance, it's how he's dressed.
Oh.
And particularly his haircut. He looks like Harry Potter, but he doesn't look like Harry Potter because he's got like a
He looks
bold...
like a middle-aged man pretending to be Harry Potter.
He looks like if Harry Potter drank a potion that turned him into a middle-aged man, but kept all of his features like a child.
It does look like he's taken the Polyjuice Potion to enter the Ministry of Magic secretly.
It's exactly that scene. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except it's more like if Harry Potter did that in the first 2 books rather than like near the end.
Yeah, in the first 2 books rather than the end, yeah.
Because he looks like Daniel Radcliffe as a 12-year-old in this. He's got the glasses.
He does look very weird. His hair's bad. It's just like, it must be an 80s thing.
I think it's an 80s thing. Also, Christopher Walken is like, he always plays like weirdos, so I assume it's on purpose, but...
It's very funny.
Yeah.
That you pointed that out, because I was thinking that this is all... His accent, too, is really, muted, I'll say.
Yeah.
Because you think of Christopher Walken, and, you know, you have that really, like, deep New York accent that everyone does, but his accent is really just, like, mostly normal in this.
It's mostly normal. Every now and then, yeah, he does like some Nick Cage yelling, but
yeah. Which I thought was quite interesting, and I'm like, oh, he gets a bit of a exaggerated rap, I would say.
But I thought he was good in this.
I liked Michael Sheen. He was quite good.
Yeah, Martin Sheen's great in this. He's really good. He's a really good guy. I liked the cop who ends up being the serial killer. His performance was really good.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
I liked all of that. I don't think the doctor was great.
No, the doctor was really funny to me because he was like, oh, yeah, I'm a doctor, but kill all the dictators. And it was like, oh, yeah, bold. But to be fair, he has survived, like, a war situation, so it would make sense. I don't know. I liked the doctor. The actor was fine.
I wish they did more with the mum. I wish they did more with his mum, because in the books, his mum is, like, a religious nut.
Oh, really?
And she's like, you're important, you're Jesus, oh my god. And she's, like, subscribed, and, like, she's losing money because he's in a coma and they've got to pay for it, but she's also just like buying heaps of like religious propaganda and stuff also, so like they've got no money, and there's a great kind of dynamic between the dad and her. But again, they kind of rush through all the coma stuff in the book. He's in a coma for like 200 pages and you like watch everyone's life go on, but in the movie, they don't really do that.
Yeah. They just cut to him being awake, but now 5 years has passed. She was really weird when he came out of the coma. She's like, it's a blessing from the Lord. And she was like acting really like on edge or something. Like she seemed a little bit wild-eyed, you know?
Yeah.
So, but then she like dies, doesn't she, or something?
Yeah, she dies. He knows that she's gonna die in the book as well.
Yeah.
But that actor though, that is Jackie Burrows, who I know as one of the main characters in a TV show called The Road to Avonlea, which is the sequel to Anne of Green Gables, and was a very good show that I used to enjoy watching a lot.
But yeah, she didn't get enough screen time. You're right. That would have been a little fun, but obviously they've passed that by. But yeah, she was a good actor, I felt.
Definitely. Yeah, what were you saying? Like a 3.5?
I said 3.5, and I think 3.5 is where I'm at for this film.
I agree.
But I'm around, I'm thinking 4, but like, I think it's a 3.5.
Yeah, I agree with 3.5. We had Martin Sheen, he was really good.
Yeah.
We had Walken, who was okay. I think it's like a couple standout performances and then a lot of average performances.
it never detracted from the film. It only enhanced the film, which was good.
Exactly.
That's what you want.
For Videodrome, James Woods is Max Rand, who kind of similar to Christopher Walken. I don't think I've ever seen him as a main character before. He's always he's always off to the side.
But I liked him as the main character. I thought he did really well.
Yeah, I liked him too. The lead singer of Blondie, she was good in this. I don't know why she was in this, but she was good in the movie.
Hey, it's all right. That's the interesting thing, because he's almost like we're following a side character for our main character sort of thing, because he's being steered around by the plot, essentially. Like,
yes.
He's following this mystery, but he's also being ordered around by other people with the Videodrome set, right? So it's like he doesn't actually have a say almost in what's happening. He's almost helpless. He's just in for the ride, which makes him as usually not a main character. It kind of works a bit better in this film, I feel. Because he doesn't have autonomy on what's really going on.
For sure, yeah. It's quite good. I liked the actor who played Brian Oblivion as well. That was Jack Creeley.
That was great.
Who we know from a little series that we did on Patreon and on the main show, because he's in Police Academy 3 and 4.
Whoa!
Where he plays two different characters, but one of those characters is the judge in the fourth movie, which I think is the fart joke scene.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that's it. Oh, I had that scene blocked out of my memory, Sandro.
Yeah.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Anyway, he's in those movies. None of the actors in Videodrome, aside from the main two, have really done anything else. They're all like character actors and stuff. But I quite liked the entire cast, so I would probably go for a 3.5 as well, honestly.
Oh, 3.5. I was definitely a bit higher. I liked the acting a bit more in this film. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh, 3.75 then.
Yes, which rounds out the other one we've given. And I'm not doing it on purpose just so I can fix the mistakes of previous things. But I did actually, I think I enjoyed the acting a little more, because it's just a little more wild. It's a little more...
It is more wild in Videodrome.
It's like twists and turns. Like, all of the actors really added something, you know?
Oh, wow. Cronenberg turned down directing Return of the Jedi to make Videodrome.
Wow.
Because I think originally David Lynch was going to direct Return of the Jedi.
Wow.
But then he was like, nah. And then Cronenberg was going to do it, and he was like, nah.
Wow. That's crazy that he could have... That could have been such a different film if he had directed it.
A Cronenberg... I mean, as we saw with the Dead Zone, though, he can really kind of scale it back. I don't think Return of the Jedi would have been that different.
Yeah, but, like, you could have had some cool-ass aliens, all I'm saying, you know? We could have had some real freaky body horror alien boys.
That's true. That would have been cool. Kind of like the Navigators in David Lynch's Dune.
Yeah, the only good part and only part that matters of any Dune piece of media.
Also, in terms of the Dead Zone, a fun fact.
Yeah.
Because Stephen King always has an actor in mind whenever they make a movie out of his things. His original pick was Bill Murray for the main character.
Whoa! I could see Bill Murray, yeah.
I can actually see that working pretty well. I think that'd be pretty good, yeah.
There are known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. But there are also unknown knowns. The ancient and esoteric Order of the Jackalope is a secret society devoted to unearthing and sharing this forgotten knowledge. Each episode, we take one of these strange stories and share it with you. No topic is off limits, except for the obvious. Available wherever fine podcasts are sold.
All right, next category is taglines.
Oh, it's the taglines battle.
That's right, tagline battle.
Well, you got to tell me the taglines. I got to rate the taglines, and then we compare the taglines.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll start off with the Dead Zone then. He can see the future, but can he escape it?
Whoa! That was actually
I
not
like that.
bad. Yeah,
I really like
I'm
that
going to
one.
give that
That's
a thumbs
good.
up. That's probably the best opening tagline you've had in the tagline segment.
That's true. And the only other tagline for the Dead Zone is, in his mind, he has the power to see the future. In his hands, he has the power to change it.
Whoa!
Also pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Thumbs up. Two good taglines. Wow.
Yeah.
100% ratio. That's gonna score pretty highly in our scientific section there, you know.
That's true.
And then what are the other taglines for Videodrome?
All right, for Videodrome, we got a bit more taglines here.
A bit more. Okay, yeah.
From David Cronenberg,
Yeah.
director of Scanners.
Ah, Scanners, one of my all-time
Yes.
favorite films that I've definitely seen.
I have not seen Scanners, but I know
Neither.
that people's heads explode in that.
Oh, I guess that would be good if you had seen that film.
So,
So I will give that a shaky because I don't know if that's a good tagline because I haven't seen the film.
the next one is, first it controls your mind.
What?
Then it controls your body.
Whoa. It's not really playing on what I like about this film, which is the whole fear of television. So I'm going to give that I'll give it a thumbs down. I'm not keen.
All right. And then the other one is, a vision of enormous physical impact.
Ooh, I like that one a bit more. I'm still going to give that one a shaky.
Yeah.
But I like that one. That one's playing a bit more on the television thing. The still wasn't quite what I wanted, though.
No. And then the final one to kind of wrap it all up is a terrifying new weapon. Which kind of spoils the movie.
Yeah, sort of, you know.
A little bit.
It doesn't say what that new weapon is.
No, well, yeah, that's true.
Another shaky. I think this one was a bit rough for the taglines for old Videodrome here.
Well then, we got to rate it out of 5. For Dead Zone, pretty high, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm giving that a 4. A solid 4. I think that's some of the best taglines we've heard.
I agree, actually. I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
I would give it a 5 out of 5, but I really don't want to fuck Videodrome so hard in this segment that we've just thrown into the scientific thing. So objectively, I'm saying a 4.
And for Videodrome, 2.5 maybe. They're not great.
I was going to give it a 2, but I want to raise it to a 2.5 because I don't want to add another fucking 20.
No 75? All right, 2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
I did middle thumbs it up quite a bit, so I think middle ground is where you have to give it. Not great on the old taglines, unfortunately.
All right, well, that is the entire bonus battle right there, Zach.
Oh, okay. All right, we're editing it here. This is early, finished up.
It is an early finish, but also this episode's been longer than...
I think the story category was definitely the most important and intense. We went through the stories of each.
Yes.
Describing them. So I think that was definitely the most important category.
But I'm adding up the points now.
It's out of 20, yes?
It's out of a total of 20, and all right, looks like I have... Oh, it's pretty close. That is the sound of me doing... Oh my goodness, where did R2-D2 come from?
He's in the back calculating the scores, ready to go. Yeah.
All right, I've got the points here really close.
Oh, really close? Yeah. The taglines definitely helped one of the movies a lot more than the other. But I still feel like one's going to scientifically beat the other one, and I think that's fair.
All right, well, out of a total 20 points, coming in second on 14, which is still, that's pretty high.
It's very high, yeah, very high.
Oh, is the Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone, yep. Absolutely. I will definitely watch that one again at some point. It's just something I put on the background. It's not too brain draining. It's a simple concept that's you go through the concept and you're like, what would happen if someone could, predict the future by clasping someone's hands and they can see their future? What would happen? Well, they would see their deaths.
Yeah.
And so they try and stop their deaths, or they see them killing everyone else. So they decide to kill them. You know? It's pretty good.
And then, coming in first on 15.5 points.
Oh, that is a big score. That is a meaty score.
It is Videodrome.
Really? The only thing that went bad for this was its taglines. I feel like the taglines...
Yeah, if Videodrome didn't have bad taglines, this probably would have gotten like an 18 or a higher than that.
You know what? This film didn't do great in cinemas, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it had better taglines, yeah.
Because of the taglines. That's right. It wasn't because of the censors. It was because of the taglines.
That is fact. We did the science right here, Sandro. We did the science right here. We have proven it was the taglines alone.
It was the taglines that fucked over Videodrome. Well, there we go. That is the entire bonus battle. Thank you so much for listening, as always. If you like the show, be like, hey, friend.
Hi.
Long live the new episode of the podcast.
Long live the new episode of the podcast, absolutely. I get it, because that was a reference to the film we just watched.
That's right. Yeah, the number one way to help us out, if you do want to, is to tell a friend.
Hey, Sandro, we have a new episode coming out. It's pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about Videodrome and about the Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone? Wow, what a surprise. I've recently watched those.
Yeah. You would relate to this podcast. You should listen to it.
Yes.
Are you interested in listening to it?
I am interested in listening to it.
See, listeners, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Boom, right there.
We also thank everyone who reviews us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, drops a comment on YouTube. Our YouTube recently hit 500 subscribers, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And if you've got some spare cash kind of hanging around, well, patreon.com/oldiebutygoodie. We'll take it and we'll put it towards a good cause, which is paying off the new microphones that we've bought and have not set up yet.
True. We bought those and then they took forever to get here and then we still haven't used them yet because it just hasn't worked out because someone's had stupid Comedy Fest and someone's had stupid working literally like 9 days in a row, like followed up by a week in a row. Followed up by doing every Sunday. Oh, it's a good time.
It has been a good time. But now, maybe we'll record in person. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, don't jinx it now, Sandro.
That's true. Yes, you can head to patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod. Get early episodes when I edit them on time. And also ad-free episodes as well. And bonus episodes. Up right now is a review of SS Darko.
SS Darko. Somehow, even after watching Madam Web, the worst film I've seen this year.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
But out on Wednesday is a review of Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday.
Ooh.
That's right. We fast-tracked that one a little bit to get ready for the K-drama, which is starting at the start of June. So we fast-tracked our next Friday the 13th review, which is our May episode. And it's the only Friday the 13th movie that came out in the 90s, which means it's probably going to be terrible. But we're reviewing that on Wednesday on Patreon, so you can go check that out if you want. But Zach, it's time for you to pick next week's movie, which is from 1984.
Ooh, all right, I'm down.
Yeah.
What movie selection have we got from 1984? Is the movie 1984 an option?
There is the movie 1984 from 1984. You could do that.
Whoa!
Yes.
What about Gremlins?
We've already done Gremlins.
Gremlins,
actually.
boy. Yeah, but it was good, so we could just do it twice.
That's true. We could do Gremlins. What about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? We've already done that, actually.
Yeah, in fact, we've done a lot of these films. It's almost like we did this as an entire year at one stage.
What? We covered 1984?
What about Moscow on the Hudson? Oh, we did that one.
No. That movie was not very good. What about Amadeus? Oh, we've done that.
What about Romancing the Stone? Oh, no, thank you.
We've done that one.
And I don't want to do it again.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Ooh. I mean, we actually reviewed that on Patreon, so actually...
there you go. What about Beverly Hills Cop? Oh, no, we did way too much of that one.
We did a lot of Beverly Hills Cop. What about Police Academy? Never again. Never again.
Oh, what about Dreamscape?
That was pretty good. I enjoyed Dreamscape.
That was a fun one.
Well, what about Footloose? Now, we've done that.
Footloose was great. You hated Footloose, didn't you?
I liked Footloose. It was pretty good.
You said it was the worst film of all time.
I didn't say it was the worst film of all time. I didn't say that.
The Ice Pirates!
Yeah, we've done that.
The Ice Pirates, Sandra. Yeah, but the Ice Pirates, it was so good. So unexpectedly great.
What about Purple Rain? Oh, we've done that.
Oh, God.
We didn't like it.
No.
It wasn't good.
It was bad. The music, pretty good. The film, awful.
Great album. The best album of 1984,
Yeah,
probably.
true. Absolutely. It's almost like it was an album first and a movie not at all.
Yeah. What about Bachelor Party? Where a donkey ODs on cocaine.
The Karate Kid?
Blame it on Rio.
Oh, God, no, Sandro, no. Don't even joke about that one.
All right, we've already done all of these because we've already done 1984.
Oh, Sandro, there's something we haven't done, though.
Oh, what haven't we done?
There's something we haven't done, and I've just spotted it. I literally just spotted it going through, even though this is definitely the one we have to do. It's called the Caravan of Courage.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
An Ewok adventure.
As soon as you said Caravan of Courage, I went, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah. Caravan of Courage, an Ewok adventure.
Zach, we said we'd never do a Star Wars movie on the podcast.
Well, I would argue that this is the least canon Star Wars thing of all time.
The holiday the holiday special has the cast of Star Wars in it.
Yeah.
So that is still Star Wars.
I think this is the mostly... I've never seen it. I've never even heard anything about this. Anything where it's got reasonable reviews. Okay.
Yeah, Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure. It's one of 2 spin-off TV movies for kids.
Yeah.
That came out in the 80s. Spin-offs of Return of the Jedi.
It has Warwick Davis? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's got the people in it.
Oh, no.
From Return of the Jedi. It's just like a bunch of kids and a bunch of Ewoks on like a weird like kid adventure thing.
Boy.
I've always wanted to watch it, but I did not expect you to pick it for the podcast.
Yeah, well, like, what else have I got to pick? We've done all the other ones. We did The Iceman. We did The Toxic Avenger. We did Hot Dog, the movie.
We did do Hot Dog the movie. That was a movie.
Yeah, we did all of them.
So I guess the only thing left to do is a TV movie written by George Lucas.
Oh, Georgie Boy wrote this?
Oh, no, he did the story. He didn't actually come up with it. My bad. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It has been described as a crossover between Hansel and Gretel and Tarzan.
Oh, boy. Well, Tarzan has never gone wrong for us, right?
That's right. I mean, it is May. We're getting that new Star Wars prequel show in like a couple weeks, so...
that's true.
We may as well do... Fuck's sake. All right. Next week, Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure.
We should have put this out like a week ago on May the 4th or something.
Should have put it out on May the 4th. That would have been... I mean, if we didn't have to delay for a week for like the Flash Gordon episode, we probably would have put it out
That's true. Oh, well. We could just say this is our May the 4th special and put it out not on May the 4th.
Man, I don't even know if I like the Ewoks.
Oh, I love a good Ewok.
You love the Ewoks?
Yeah, they're great.
I like the Ewoks, but also, like, they were meant to be a bunch of Wookiees. But then they ran out of money, so they made them small little kid Wookiees.
Yeah, but that also made them, like, kind of funny when they're attacking things, and, like...
That's true.
They're very cute. They're like, Porg-like, and they were the cute little things. Like, cute, but also they're savage.
All right, next week, Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure, and I feel like I should probably give you a rest before we do that one, you know?
Oh, thank God, yeah. I was just thinking, like, after all this, you know, after seeing a guy in a coma, I could go into a coma right now. I could use a long nap.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wheel this out, because obviously, Zach, you are a zillennial.
Yep, that's me.
Which does, of course, mean that you can't fall asleep without TV.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I need a bit of TV on. I do actually. It's funny you say that because last night I had a bit of YouTube on to go to sleep. So you know me. I need that screen in front of me to go to sleep. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wheel this TV out.
So I'll just relax here. Yeah, I'll just relax here and watch this TV as I go to sleep. Oh, I can already feel it. Feel it seeping in. Oh, Videodrome. Gotta embrace the new flesh. I gotta go. I gotta go through the portal. I gotta jump through the portal. Sandro, I'm jumping into the TV.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're jumping into the TV. For next week, we review a TV movie, and Zach is inside of the TV. Very intriguing. See us next week for some Ewoks. Bye.
Utini!